Okay, hello everybody. It is Thursday. This is Ryan Lanier of Organizing for Good, and it is my favorite time of the week. I get to reach out to an area nonprofit that typically I've dealt with your regular nonprofit. Today we're diving into sustainability, and I have Abby Rogers here from the Austin Dish Lending Library. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You bet. I think that this is a fascinating concept. Probably has been going on in ways, but to really bring it to the forefront and call it a dish lending library, I'm so excited. So the floor is yours. Tell us all about what this is, how it started, how it works, whatever. Thank you.
So it started back in 2019. I actually came on in 2020 helping out with it, but a woman down in Buda named Joanna, she was helping with a nonprofit with their event and trying to get dish rentals and kind of realized how expensive it is. And she didn't want to go the route of kind of like throw away paper plastic. She wanted to make it reusable. So she kind of did some research and she found out about dish lending libraries. I think there's one up in Canada. There's a few around, but she decided to start one. And so she started it just out of her house. I think she used a whole spare bedroom to store all of the dishes in. But yeah, it's really just a free service to borrow dishes. And it's not just plates. We have cups, utensils, platters, a lot more than just a dish and a cup. But you can borrow them and then you just wash them yourselves and then bring them back, and it's all free. So just kind of trying to give people the option to use reusable dishware and make their event or just a gathering more sustainable, if they can't afford really to go through the whole rental route with these dish rental companies.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And like physically, that has got to be a thing, right? There's the transporting and storage. Like, can we just get into like really how that works and how often like is this being taken advantage of?
Yeah. So I actually borrowed from her with one of the nonprofits I work part-time with, and we borrowed some platters. And so when she lived down in Buda, she had a few different, she'd like sometimes meet you somewhere because it's a little outside of Austin. And I loved because again, I worked with a small nonprofit. We didn't have the budget to rent dishes, and just the easiest way was like nice plastic plates. So I got as much as I could with like reusing the platters. But she needed someone to take it over about a year ago in 2020. She had some other things she was working on, and especially being farther south in Buda, she wanted someone who was a little more central. And I work with events, and so a lot of my jobs were minimal last year. And so I was like, hey, this sounds like a fun little project I can work on. So I
project.
Yeah, so I said yes. And I went down there and loaded a whole truck full of these boxes. Like I said, it just took over a whole bedroom for her. I didn't have a spare room in my house for that, so we got a few donations through our Facebook page, and I got a small shed that my friend helped me go pick up and put together, and it was only about 7 by 10, and by the time we got everything in there, you could barely walk in. So already we were I had too much for the storage I had. And then especially in 2020, we didn't have too many rentals, obviously, because people weren't really gathering. We had a couple here and there, but a lot was donations, which then the main problem I had was the amount of storage I had. I kept trying to make it all organized, and it would get more disorganized with the more dishes. So a few months ago, I stopped any donations while we were looking for better storage. And then the shed I got, the roof kind of leaked, so I couldn't even really keep the dishes that clean. It was like cleaning them before I gave them out. And it became a lot more work, whereas it should have just been the dishes are clean when they get brought back. They stay clean for the next person. So I'm never having to wash the dishes.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the big thing, was looking for better storage. And we don't, I mean, it's mainly me and the founder, Joanna, helps out a little bit still. But we didn't really, I didn't want to kind of throw it all out of my own pocket to like rent a storage area. But I try to, I think it's every other month, the city of Austin has these circular meetups. It's for their circular economy, trying to like more reuse and stuff like that. And that's where I met, they put you in these little groups to kind of talk more. And I got put in a group with Liza, who's the owner of the Toy Brary in Austin, up north. It's an awesome business that you can rent toys. You can have a membership to come just play in the area. She has room for parties and classes. So it's a really unique business I'd never heard of. And she has a shed in the back, and she offered to let me put our dishes in there. So I moved most of them in there. I'm still in the process of moving the rest. But now we're operating out of her back shed. And so now our pickup and drop off hours are kind of to what her business hours are, which is Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6. But I'm really excited for the new storage, so I don't have to kind of every time it rains worry about how wet the dishes are going to be again. So it's all dry. It's a really great new place to be in, and I'm super grateful that I met her and she offered up the space.
Oh, every nonprofit I've talked to, they become stronger when they partner. So this is a beautiful example. And then you get more exposure. People are excited about borrowing toys, are definitely going to be in that same mindset for dishes. I love that. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Have there been any other places that you've reached out to spread the word or make any connections?
So before I took it over, Joanna had she had done a really good job at kind of getting the word. I think she was on a news station once. And she had in a few. We were in why am I blanking on it? Austin Creative Use. We were on their newsletter once.
Yes.
I think we're gonna.
That's probably where I heard about you. I think probably.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I'm also a zero waste block leader through the city of Austin. I think they're going to spotlight us next month. But I was kind of holding off for a bit until I got a new storage, just so to kind of limit the amount of people borrowing, since it was so crazy and trying to keep it all clean. But now that we have it and everything's clean again and ready to go, I'm trying to just get the word out more so people hear about it. And if they have an event they want to borrow for. And again, we've had people borrow it for, I just had like 200 dinner plates and 150 app plates and stuff to go towards a wedding. But I've also had someone someone just asked to borrow like 12 teacups and saucers. So it could be large, small, and really, really whatever. But I'm trying to kind of hope to get it out to more places that maybe would have, I mean, anyone can use it. I love it when anyone uses it, when weddings use it. But trying to get kind of more places that they would have used a throwaway item.
Yes.
I'm happy to help people kind of reduce their costs on stuff. But definitely trying to kind of help places that in groups that would have kind of used something to keep more trash out of the landfill. And that's why we have a few kind of reusable plastic plates and plastic cups for maybe like outdoor events and more stuff like that, where it doesn't have to look nice with a ceramic dish. Just something that, hey, here's something instead of like all those plastic cups you were going to buy.
Yes. So you just reminded me of something I haven't thought of for years. So when I was raising my kids, we had a mom's group, right? And we started getting together on Fridays as families. Maybe there were four or five of us. And it was several Fridays a month, maybe not every Friday, but we were using a lot of like, nobody wanted to do all the dishes, but it was bothering me. So I actually bought a set of the plastic and all that stuff. And it was called the Fun Friday, and there were two reusable shopping bags and it would go around with us. So that's like a way you can do that personally. I obviously schools, classroom parties.
Yeah,
those-
and
oh,
we
oh,
actually I was really excited. I got it actually through my Buy Nothing group. I saw someone giving away, it was a whole tub. There's a picture on our website. It's just kind of a whole party set. It's like colorful plastic dishes and forks and cups. And it's like perfect for a kid's party or really any, I mean,
yes,
it's
yes.
a little smaller, so for kids probably, but it's the perfect option for that. And it's all in one tub. You don't have to get like, here's a crate of dishes, here's a crate of cups. So no one's borrowed it yet, but I'd love to kind of get the word out to parents and classes. And it's a really easy, here's a tub and it has everything you need.
That's amazing. So that was I was just about to talk about Buy Nothing. So anybody who's watching or listening right now, the Buy Nothing project is the most amazing thing. I think it's how the world should operate, but you can join their Facebook groups for giving. It's a giving and receiving society. It is not trade. It's not barter. It's free giving and free receiving. And you can only be in yours that matches your geography. Because you've heard of Craigslist free, which is great, but you may drive wherever you just don't know. Buy Nothing project, you should Google your own, right? See if you have one and join it. It is life-changing. Okay, there's that. So now, have you connected with Buy Nothing I'm going to be mentioning it in mine for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm actually the admin of my Buy Nothing.
I handed that off.
Yeah.
You can hand that off.
Yeah, I was nice. And well, ours split into 4 new locations because it had like over 2,000 people.
What do they call it when that happens?
Yeah.
There's a word for that. Blossom.
Yeah, there was a sprout.
Yeah. Sprouted.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'll help mine because they needed new admins for the sprouts. Now it's pretty chill. It's just kind of checking. But yeah, I've definitely posted in there about it. I think someone's borrowed from me through there.
Great.
But yeah, I love the Buy Nothing group. You can ask for I like when I need something, that's usually where I go to first. And then I'll go like Facebook Marketplace or something else. But yeah, and the things you think are trash, someone will want. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah. Whoever, you can lose some time on there. But it's great, a bunch of random styrofoam boxes that come from medicine trash to you, but the person that's got in my group, there's somebody who does a fresh dog food library. We keep using fresh dog food business, and when she buys those cubes, she has to spend $5 or $6 each for those styrofoam cubes. So now I have a friend who gets them, gives them to me, and gives them to her. So what I'm trying to say, I think what some objections people have, like, oh, it's just trouble. I should go to Costco and buy the plates, like whatever. What would you say to somebody who just feels like, it's just too much work?
I mean, I think if you're kind of wanting to help reduce the waste of whatever you're doing, it's worth the effort. I mean, I try and make it as easy as I can with the pickups and drop-offs around their schedule. Hopefully if I'm free, and the Toyberry, she's kind of flexible and it's a place now, but I'm still trying to be there most of the time. But I mean, really the only thing I'd say is more of the effort of the person borrowing is washing the dishes after, which if you have a dishwasher, it's really easy to throw it in there. But I think it also makes kind of your event have an interesting aspect to it. All of our dishes are donated, so they all look different. It's a fun, eclectic variety. It's not just the same plastic or the same like white paper plates. So it really kind of gives it a unique feel. And I mean, maybe it'll get people kind of talking about it, and then more people can hear about it, and kind of think on their own of how they can like reduce waste. A lot of people, every time they find out about it, they're all like, oh, that's awesome. I never would have even thought about it. And so kind of just bringing new thoughts to people, and just something new. And like I said, it doesn't have to be an event. It could, I've had someone borrow for a birthday party, or an event on a farm, or just like a dinner they were having with like 10 people. So it can really be for anything.
Talk a little bit about the library itself. How many dishes are we talking?
Oh. I don't have an exact count. I mean, all the numbers are on our website. So I mean, I technically do have an exact, in my head, I don't have a count.
Fair enough.
But like I
You have
said,
enough in your head as is.
I mean, we have 200 dinner plates, we have 150 app plates, and then we have like over 100 dessert plates, and then all the cups. So I, at first, when I got everything from Joanna, it was all in bins, which that definitely helped keep them clean, but it was kind of hard, with all the like, what am I saying? Like the newspaper you have to cover them with, and everything.
Yeah.
I was trying to find an easier way for people to be able to, after they used them, to put them back in to kind of reduce their time. So on Facebook Marketplace, I found someone who was selling a bunch of this plastic crates, because he does like a food pantry, and he gets a bunch of them. And so I bought a bunch of those and put all the dishes in there. So it's 20 plates a crate, or the app plates, it's 40. So it's a lot easier to use and move. And then a woman volunteered I went to Austin Creative Reuse to buy some fabric, and she made some covers for the crates. So now I have fun, colorful crate covers. And I bought some those dish racks, so it's easier. So you're not having to wrap every cup rack. So you don't have to wrap every cup again. You can just stack them back in there. So I'm still trying to, I mean, again, it's kind of a lot of, I've stopped for a bit because they cost a lot, the dish racks do, and everything else. So we have most of our cups in there, but just trying to kind of simplify the way we store things so people aren't having to rewrap every cup once they wash it, and stuff like that.
Right.
But I forgot what your original question was.
No, that was great. You were talking about, it's like, describe what the library actually is. And
and how many? Yeah, so
got it.
I just took over maybe like 15 tubs that have different things, and then I have like 20 crates of dishes, and then I have maybe like 10 racks of cup racks. So we have a lot of items in our inventory.
That is phenomenal. Somebody asked, what about cake pans? Do
we have had a few asked about kind of cooking things. We haven't gotten any of those donations yet. And well, once we allow donations again, I usually kind of put a list of a few that we're looking for, especially like the heating pans to put stuff in. Shaving dishes. We've had a few requests for those. So that might be something that we look forward to next. But yeah, I'm also kind of trying to look at what's been borrowed and what hasn't, because we get a lot of things donated to us, like punch bowls and these fun like party platters with a teacup, and they look really pretty, and but we haven't really had much use for those. So I'm trying to kind of downsize on what we aren't getting, and kind of say no to some donations that like they don't really fit, or that's not really going to get borrowed, just to kind of reduce the amount of things, and our storage doesn't become crazy with things that never get borrowed. But yeah, I'm definitely kind of keeping note of what people are asking for that we don't have. So when we do bring donations back, we can kind of send out a list of, hey, these are the things we're looking for. These are the things we don't really need. But yeah, to kind of reduce the amount of donations that we get that will benefit us, and the rest can go to thrift stores and stuff that other people might want to buy.
Right, for sure. Wow. Well, this is a great segue to tell us how can we support you? We've already heard that things cost, that, you really want to get the word out. Like, how can we bring you guys more to the forefront
Yeah.
and
So
support donations?
the storage was our big thing for a while. So I was super excited when we found a solution to that. But definitely trying to kind of get better storage options, like for the dishes, like crates and stuff like that. Which they
A
said,
restaurant supply, like if we know of a restaurant that
yeah,
closed, whatever that
I've tried to
have.
look through some like groups like that. It's been hard, and it's still, I mean, they're trying to sell them too. So it's still kind of costly. So
Okay.
yeah, I did create a GoFundMe for a bit to try and raise some money, and we got a good amount. It's still up. So people, I'm gonna create a Venmo for it soon, just to kind of make it
Yes,
easier to
yes.
donate. We aren't a 501c3. We've thought about it. We're kind of holding off for a little bit just because of all the paperwork and everything. And like I said, it's mainly just me doing it and the old founder. So we need a few more people to kind of want to help out before we maybe look into that.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, we'll happily take donations if people are willing to offer, but we're not tax deductible. If anyone's interested in helping, really just kind of having some more people to be there to help get the dishes away and get them back, if I'm not able to, and to kind of help grow. I mean, I have a lot of ideas that hopefully one day I can do with this, but I think it'll take some more support and some more funding. And then yeah, just spreading the word. The amount of every time I let people know, they're always super excited to find out about it, and they're like, how did I not know about this before? So yeah, just kind of telling your friends if they're having an event, like letting them know about this option, and really anything, and checking our website and seeing everything that we have. We have so many different items.
Yes. So you're on Facebook and you have a website, Instagram coming soon.
Coming soon.
But definitely like and share that Facebook for sure. I would love for you guys to like have your Facebook just go right.
Yeah, we have a good amount of followers, but Facebook analytics and everything.
Yeah, right, definitely. And I think, so I have a quick question. So you don't have any issues with, people not returning the things on time or returning them not in a satisfactory condition? I mean, this is also, people could abuse a privilege, right?
Yeah, no, we don't. We haven't ever had that. Everyone usually, unless I have another event like within that week, I usually am kind of flexible with the return time, just like within the next week. It doesn't have to be the next day. But no, everyone is really great returning it. A lot of times they have like a friend helping out too, especially if it's like a wedding. And so we always get it back in time, and I've always said if something breaks, it was all donated. Like I just need to know so I can take it off my account. And we do keep the broken items because Joanna connected with an artist who we give them to, and she kind of creates art with like the broken ceramic pieces.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah. But yeah, so some people have like put new dishes in if they've broken. They don't need to do that. If they want to, they can. But yeah, everything's donated. So if something, I mean, and that's kind of another benefit. I mean, I'm sure you'd have to pay for it if it was another dish rental or something else. But if something breaks, no one's mad. But we'll take the broken dishes and make it into art.
That's just, I love that so much. Again, I'm right there with you. I'm like, why don't I have my own?
Yeah.
I can see you having, several locations,
Yeah.
Sunday, north, south, east, west, just dishes for everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely, hopefully we can kind of grow it. I mean, my hope is maybe one day to be able to kind of help more like outdoor events or events that we can help them if it's too large for like our plastic plates or ceramic dishes, to maybe help subsidize to get compostable things and then help them with getting like a compost haul out.
Yes.
Because again, it's kind of all comes down to money with a lot of the ones with nonprofits and just like grassroots community groups. They can't really, like, even if they wanted to, they might not have the money to do that. So maybe one day if we are able to get the funds for that, then like we can help other people with that. But that's a dream for later on.
Right. Slow, one party at a time.
Yeah.
I think being able to store it with the Toyberry is, I think that was like a magical piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah.
And I'll be reaching out to the Toyberry to talk to them.
Yeah, they're a great business.
I may need to do that before the holidays come, actually, because everybody likes to clean out. I guess they take donation. I would think that they take donations.
I'm not sure exactly. They might. I know they rent toys. They also like sell some toys too. But yeah, you'd have to ask Liz on that one. I haven't gotten the full scope of it yet.
Right, but that would be just a good time of year. So definitely that GoFundMe is still live. And yeah, add I always say, how easy can we make it for people to support?
Yeah,
people have attention spans like this long, just because they're super busy. And how easy can we make it? I love hearing, I mean, boy, bless your heart for taking this thing on from Joanna. I mean,
I love projects.
Well, I guarantee you she was so incredibly grateful to, be able to keep it going. I hate to close. This is clearly a dream for her as well.
Yeah.
So, I know she said it 1,000 times, but I will also say thank you for keeping that alive and continuing to further it. Cause I mean, like, just look at the planet. Like, we just need more of this. We need so much more of this.
Yeah. It's a small thing, but I mean, I think even if it's not a huge kind of waste reduction, I think it kind of gets people talking, and just kind of thinking about it. So, yeah, I'm also trying to kind of calculate the amount of dishes we've kept out to kind of get a number. We have it from last year on our website, which I think was like 5,000 pieces. But I mean, everything counts, and it's a way to reduce it. But yeah, I think the easiest way to help out is literally just kind of spread the word about it, because I just love for more people to be able to use it and know about it.
Absolutely. Yay. Well, I have enjoyed so much hearing this work that you're doing and feeling inspired, to do what I can do at my level. And, if you guys have any ideas, I know that Abby would love to hear, maybe you're doing something kind of like I was doing with my little families group, the dishes that we were I guess my cat decided to go into that closet. Yeah. So, we're all doing something, but ideas are always welcome. And how can we grow that? So, is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you would want to share?
I don't think so. I think I've talked a lot about it. Yeah. If anyone has questions, they can email me. I love to connect with different groups. So yeah, if you're doing something kind of similar, or if I can help you out in a way, or if you think you can help me out, definitely connect with me.
Fantastic. Yeah, we heard a need for dish racks. Those are expensive and pretty much part of what you need. I mean,
I kept saying dish, they're glass racks. I kept getting it.
Right. Yeah. I think we really know. Like the things that when you put them in that dishwasher and they go.
Yes, those. Yeah, it's just easier to stack the cups.
Right.
No one wants to rewrap every single cup.
Yeah. So there's some dish and cup racks running around out there that need a home. The Austin Dish Lending Library would like to give you that. Abby, thank you. I've enjoyed so much talking to you today. Really appreciate your time today and all the hours you are logging to help lessen the impact of waste on the landfills and everything. So I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
I also want to thank everybody for watching today. I hope you learned something new. As always, please like and share the socials for Austin Dish Lending Library and any of the other nonprofit shout out interviews I've done in the past. You can check out all those on my YouTube channel. And we are going to be visiting with the the Hill Country AIDS ride next week. And then we're actually taking a bit of a break up until the new year after that. So got you in second to last before the series ends for 2021. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. It means so much that you would spend your time here. It's so precious. So I hope you've learned something today. Thanks a lot so much. Have a great day, guys.